Hello, everybody. The question of AI comes up in spiritual spaces more and more commonly, and normally it is by tech bros asking, what kind of software would you like to see in order to help you with your spirituality things? I am willing to sell it. Sometimes it appears in the shape of tech bros already selling a product that they made, or tech bros already selling a product that they have hastily just thrown together. But you also have quite a few new people that will be using less catered AI tools in order to do their spiritual work. And I am here to tell you, don't do that and don't fall for the tech bros. So you kind of have two groups of people, and one group of people are the people into a cult that kind of know what they're doing. They have a set spirituality. They're not going to be using any of those AI tools because, well, they already know what they're doing. They have their routine down, they have the books that they like, they have associations that they understand, and then you have new people that don't know anything, and for them it's very tempting to just go and ask an AI to give them the answer. Now, here's the issue. AI pulls from the whole of the internet, and it doesn't really quote where it has pulled the information from. This means that when you ask an AI to do something, you can get information from a movie, you can get somebody's fear mongering, you can get somebody's funny LSD trip, or you can get just regular authors writing books and self-publishing them that might also be badly sourced information. I know that there's a group of people that say AI is inevitability, therefore please stop fighting against it. Well, to that group, I have to say that in that case, getting critical thinking skills is also an inevitability that everybody will have to develop, and the best way to do them at the moment is just not use AI, because if you're using regular books, you can see where that information come from, you can better understand what information is being served to you. If you're using AI, you then have to take that extra step and jump through hoops to figure out if what you're being given is valuable information at all, and where it came from, and who says what, and whether or not you should subscribe to it. To illustrate my point, I just want to walk you through a removed post. The name of the person that posted this is hidden, and on top of that, this has been just lying around for like probably a month or two inside my folder. So by this point, this person, whoever they were, they're completely anonymous. I did not put their username. They would have completely moved on and forgotten that they even posted it. I grabbed a screen cap in order to prove my point, and it is of a new person making a ritual for Lucifer with ChatGPT. And their post is what ChatGPT has given them, and they saw nothing wrong with it. They have reposted it to multiple spiritual spaces going, look at what awesome ritual I just got. There wasn't any questioning as to where this information comes from, nor what it means, nor what it's supposed to do. So let me just read through it. Short individual Lucifer ritual. Initiation and summoning of Lucifer. Stand or sit comfortably, with hands raised and palms open. Why? I mean, standing or sitting comfortably tends to be common knowledge, but what does this symbolize? Why are you performing the step? It's okay if this is where your hands naturally lie. It is okay if you're making some sort of symbolism with your hands. But if there is an instruction for position for your hands, why? If you can't answer that, why are you doing it? Speak. Lucifer, dragon of hell. Citation needed. So we're obviously not talking about the Roman minor deity Lucifer. That is the equivalent to Greek phosphorus. Hell in Christianity is a kind of debated thing because it's not really there. It just ended up being a mashup of a lot of different concepts in the King James Bible that has simplified the whole thing, and then it got picked up by popular media and has been blown out of proportion. So, dragon. Where's the dragon coming from? There are legitimate places where you can get symbolism with dragons, but it entirely depends on what kind of culture you are assimilating into your own practice, because no, it's not just there by default. So already, Dragon of Hell, citation needed. Where are you pulling that from? Bringer of Light, okay, that tends to be more of a Venus in the morning, Roman Lucifer sort of thing. That's a bit more understandable. A call to you from the depths of my soul. Shine your illumination upon me, and let your presence fill this sacred space. I ring this unholy bell. Why? Why a bell? Why are you ringing it? What makes it unholy? Why should it be an unholy hell? Unholy hell? I mean, an unholy bell. An icon of sin to symbolize my eternal devotion to you. Why? Why are you involving sin into this? Where is this being pulled from? And the thing is, somebody that's entirely new to the practice will see zero problems with that whole line. Because they will be like, oh yeah, popular depiction of Lucifer from movies, all that makes absolutely entirely makes sense. No, it doesn't. Citation needed for about half of that, of what you just read. What kind of association is sin, bell, hell, dragon? Huh? If using supplies, bell was not a supply, but you're just supposed to have a random unholy bell lying around in your house. If any of you know what an unholy bell is, please hit me up, or better yet, write a comment. Light a candle or incense as you say the invocation. What kind of candle or incense? Any kind of candle of incense? Does the color matter? Does the smell matter? In my opinion, yes, because there are specific associations that you're gonna have with Venus that would bring you closer to the symbolism of Venus, which you would be using for Venus in the morning. But just grab whatever you want and go with it for reasons. Ring a bell or clap your hands after speaking once to signify the opening. Why? Why are you clapping your hands? What does it do for you? What does this part of the ritual do for you? Asking for guidance and power. Place your hands over your heart. At the very least, this symbolism normally means sincerity. So I am gonna assume that whoever wrote this would be being sincere in whatever they are about to say. But at the same time, once again, no citation given. Where is this being pulled from? Why over your hand, over your heart? Why not over your head? Why not somewhere else? Do you see what I'm saying? Satan, great serpent. Well, Satan and Lucifer aren't the same thing, but ChatGPT thinks that they are, because once again, it's pulling from the deep depths of the internet. And if you just combine everything that's onto the internet into one singular place, bad things will happen, I guarantee you. Great serpent. So you are now equating Satan to the snake from Eden, I am assuming, which is not a proven association. It is a debated association. You can, if that's what you believe in, but you would need to have a belief in that in here in order to make that association happen. Bearer of freedom and truth. You know that Satan just means the adversary, right? And that somebody calling the angel of death, Samael, would also be calling them under the name of Satan, and that one would have nothing to do with freedom. Maybe a bit of what's in the depths of your soul, but at the same time, kind of bit weird to be calling an angel of death for that. There are many Satans. Using epithets to describe a Satan, you would be specifying what you're describing, which chat program is not going to be doing. You need to know these things. Grant me the strength to stand in sovereignty and to cast down my enemies torn asunder. Edgy line? How many people legitimately have enemies in their life? But okay, I suppose works. Guide me with your wisdom, so I may see the world unclouded and to make sound decisions that further my desires. Let your flame ignite my spirit, that I may walk my path boldly and without fear. Once again, a lot of fairly random sentiments, but it works because it's fairly generic. Pause for a moment of silent reflection, visualizing Lucifer's light filling you with warmth and power. I thought we were talking with Satan just a second ago, but it's back to Lucifer now? Okay. 3. Thanking and worship in closing. Place your hands together and bow your head slightly in gratitude. What does that all symbolize to you, and what are you doing? There are quite a few cultures where you will casually bow to other people. If you're from one of those, this would be fairly natural. If you're not from one of those, you might have different associations with bowing. Hail to you, devil. Does not really relate with Lucifer, really, but let's go. 666. Now, that is an emperor. That is an emperor, not really a spirit whatsoever. We just kind of got assimilated as a number, but legitimately has nothing to do with what you're trying to do. The beast. What kind of beast? Quotation needed. Why are you calling it a beast now? The infernal light that guides the seekers to what now? Are you talking about the, So there's a garbage pit outside of Jerusalem where if you were a criminal, they would have burned your body. It got spun into one of the many underworlds mentioned by the Bible, as in, hey, you be bad, you gonna get burned, and how are we gonna resurrect you? So you don't want that. Which, over time, got transformed into a fiery pit of hell, always burning. Is that your infernal light? Legitimate question. You want to break these things down, especially if you have no idea what you're reading or what you're doing. I honor you in word, thought, and deed, and I carry your flame within me always. Thank you for your presence, your power, and your wisdom. Hail the morning star, forever shining. The morning star, the Venus in the morning has not have half of the associations that you just used. Meaning that whatever you're thanking or whatever you're praying to is now an amalgamation of multiple different beliefs, and you don't actually know what you believe in yourself, which makes this not a very good ritual. Take a deep breath to ground yourself and imagine the energy settling within you. What energy? Make an upside down cross. Why? With a wand, dagger, or knife hand, cutting deliberately through the air to close the ritual. Why? Extinguish the candle or incense as a symbolic closing, and ring a bell or clap 3 times in mockery of the Holy Trinity. Why are we mocking another religion here? I'm sorry, I got completely lost in this ChatGPT-led ritual written apparently for cartoon cultists. Or the Church of Satan, which does a lot of mocking of Christianity on purpose, but they're also kind of atheists, so there's that. Summary: no tools, purely spoken and internal, focusing on intent and visualization. With tools, enhance with candles, incense, bells, wand, or other items for added depth. The ritual can be completed in 5 to 10 minutes and serves as a versatile devotional practice, especially versatile considering that you don't even know whom you're doing the devotional practice to, but go you. Adaptable to various levels of experience and available resources, and that is precisely why you don't use ChatGPT to make you rituals. I don't know what to say. Outside of the fact that this is not the first time when I saw somebody that posts something that they have absolutely no understanding to that got generated by AI. Things that come to my mind is decks upon decks upon decks of AI art tarot cards. Did you know that in every single tarot cards you put very specific meaning in it? It's not just the word that's written at the bottom of the card. It normally demonstrates what the card means, and symbolism can extend to the colors used, the characters in play, items in the scene. It is a very complex thing that's supposed to impart quite a lot of visual information for the tarot card reader, just at the singular glance. You know what tarot cards generated by AI normally are? Pretty looking visual garbage. But you wouldn't know that unless you dig deep and you understand what the heck you're doing, which AI is not gonna help you with. So, time to practice critical thinking skills. If you use AI in your practice, and even if you don't, even if you just read a book, and you come to a point where it says it has been said that this is this, or you do this, ask yourself the question why. See the kind of sources that the author is citing at you, check the sources, understand the cultural background, understand the associations that you're supposed to be forming. Have some patience to invest the time into something that is supposed to matter to you, and don't treat it as something to do in 30 seconds with no idea as to what you are doing. This is not only a complaint towards, my cat is scratching my door. This is not only towards a complaint towards AI, this is also a complaint towards a lot of modern authors that will try and represent their personal way of doing as common knowledge without even explaining how they arrived at the conclusions that they did. So you will find quite a lot of sentences that will just say, do A or do B, with no explanation for what A or B is supposed to stand for, which is also not very good for new people that, are not gonna have the knowledge how to break down as to how said author might have arrived at said associations that they have arrived there. If you're more experienced, you will probably see it, or with some authors, it might still make absolutely no sense. It highly depends on your knowledge and on the author's knowledge, honestly. I hope I demonstrated my point. I hope you understood what I was trying to say in here. Take the time. Don't rush. Don't go to AI. Figure out what you're doing and why you're doing it, and towards what you're performing, whatever you're performing towards to. There tends to be deeper meaning to things that people do. They don't perform actions at random. They tend to mean something. If the action that you're going to be performing means absolutely nothing to you, dig if it has a wider meaning in the culture that you're in or the culture that you're trying to emulate. If it has no wider meaning for multiple people, perhaps discard it as junk information, because it's not going to be very helpful for you, and it's definitely not going to further your goal of understanding and connecting with whatever spirituality you want to understand and connect with. For those reasons, AI is a terrible, terrible tool to employ, and I ask you, if you have the choice, to just don't use it. And be very careful, because even when you're searching information on a search website like Google, you will often have this like top line and it will be AI generated. See if that top line leads somewhere, leads to a blog or a post or a wiki article or an article or anything else. If it doesn't lead anywhere, discard that top bit altogether and go down and look at search results, because with search results, you are more likely to determine where specific ideas come from. That doesn't mean that every website is a quality website. I've seen some pretty interesting ones, but at the very least, you're gonna have a lead, which you do not when you ask an AI to just generate you a spell or a ritual up front. It just does not work. Thank you for watching. If you have any thoughts on this topic whatsoever, please share it in the comment section down below. This YouTube channel often focuses on video games. I sometimes do occult. I like gothy stuff. Sometimes I even do not very gothy stuff. I wanted to make it a bit more lighthearted, and I diversified my content to not just be focused on spirituality, because if I was generating content just on spirituality, I would run out of content fairly fast, and on top of that, I would then need to figure out what I'm generating, and I would need to start covering topics that I don't want to cover in a very shallow manner, which I also don't want to do just to please the algorithm and keep my channel going. So instead of that, I have opted to have a variety of content that allows me to diversify and differentiate and talk about a lot less serious matters, which don't really require as much scrutiny and understanding and pouring out your heart. Therefore, I do occult content from time to time, but it is from time to time, really. So, if you like that sort of thing, consider subscribing. Otherwise, it's okay if this was the only thing that you wanted to watch from me. I totally understand. Thank you for being here, and I hope that I'm gonna see you on my other videos some other, next time. Toodaloo.